Alright everyone, welcome back to another episode of Tusk Reaper Gaming. In this episode we're playing Dungeons & Dragons online, and I happen to be on the Hardcore server. I have been asked to show my Druid build, so I'm going to start from the very beginning of basically when I made her, what skills and ability points I spent and where those went, and then we're going to roughly get into the feats, the beginning feats, if you will, and then we're going to go ahead and show you the level 11 version of where I'm currently at.
Welcome to Tusk Reaper Gaming. Please like, subscribe, and get notified.
Alright, so first things first, we're going to go ahead and select the Druid, customize, hit the race. Now, there are several different races that are going to be good Druids, you know, off the bat. Orc, half Orc is going to be great. And Dragonborn is another good one to kind of choose. The reason why I say Dragonborn is they start with a good strength and charisma, but lower dexterity. So if you're going to do like maybe a melee Druid, kind of like what I did, then you could go ahead and get away with this one. It would be pretty cool to do. The half orc is going to start with a higher strength but lower intel and lower charisma. Basically, no harm, no foul with that. That can also be a great build. But I went with Ashmere. They do start with a little bit better wisdom. So, and the reason why I did that is because of the hardcore server, as I've explained in the past talking about my Druid build. Now, you don't really start with a whole lot as a Druid, and we're going to actually get into exactly what do we start with spell-wise, and we'll go from there. Alright, let's go ahead and let's make this character. We're going to go ahead and keep him Ashmere for now, because that is what my level 11 Druid is. And then we're going to assign these points. Now, I am using the champion build. You may not be able to do that. You may only be able to do a 28-point build, but in that case, if you're a brand new player, you can go into the DDO store and, you know, purchase the ability to make champion builds, or you can go ahead and just do a test run, if you will, and see if that's something that you'd like to do. I do recommend it. You get to start at level 7, the one that I chose, and you get to create a little bit more powerful character. So with this particular character, we're going to go ahead and, of course, beef up the strength. We're going to beef up the constitution and then the wisdom. Now I've got 6 points left. This is kind of where I start when I'm building a character, especially for the first time on a new server. I like to experiment with my ability points. I want to get the most out of this character that I can. Now with the Ashmere class, it has a little bit better wisdom. So, I mean, is 16 good enough? Yeah, I think probably so. So if I start with a 16 strength or 17 strength, 17 constitution, 16 wisdom, that's acceptable. I'm not going to worry about dex off the bat, because I'm going to get, you know, things, you know, throughout the game that's going to boast my ability points and stuff. So, but like say I was worried about my dexterity, I only need to make sure I have a, you know, 14, 15 or higher wisdom to cast the most powerful spells. Also, the spell points are based off of wisdom. If I'm not too concerned, you know, I can take a point off constitution, point off wisdom, throw those into dexterity. That also works. So you are the master of yourself, so do what you guys really want, you know, what you really want to do as far as your points go. Now this right here, this is probably what I'm gonna stick with, or maybe not. Maybe I'll do that there. This right here is actually a good start build in my opinion. So we'll go with that. And then of course we're going to take concentration, max that out. I'm not going to worry about diplomacy, heal. We're going to back heal up, and then we're going to go ahead and if you want a little extra healing, it's kind of hard to get a wand off. I'm not going to worry about that. So I would just go ahead and put it in spellcraft and then hit next. Now you can choose shield mastery instead of toughness, because I was on the hardcore server and I needed every little hit point I felt to be a success, which I'm glad I've done. So we'll go ahead and do that and just kind of repeat the process there. And now we're going to go ahead and pick my racial bonus. I went with Bond of the Fallen. And then we'll hit next. Now these are going to be my beginning spells. I do have lesser vigor, but I have very limited spells to cast. All right, so one of the things I wanted to mention real quick is the alignment. Now with the druid, you have a lot of flexibility. I like to choose a true neutral alignment, and that's so I can use just about any weapon that is out there, or shield or armor or whatever. Unholy or pure good, doesn't matter, everything in between. All right, so as you can see, these are where the points are at. Now we're going to go ahead and fast forward, get to level 11, and I'm going to show you what the offspring is if you choose all the correct stuff, you know, as far as your ability points when you're going up. I was choosing some constitution, a wisdom point or two, and then of course my enhancement tree. All right guys, so here are the stats of level 11 druid. I don't have anything equipped, just so you can see exactly where my ability points are. I haven't bought any special tomes to raise my ability points at all, so this is just basically between that and my enhancement. So control R, I chose strength 1, 2, 3 times for that, and then of course I get other special bonuses while I'm in bear form and things of that nature. With the shield, I went with nature's protector, of course. That should be obvious, but just in case you weren't really catching where I was putting everything. So between that and this is kind of where I got my points. I did put a couple in here. What my plan is to do is I want to get Ascended Bond. This is really what I want to get. I want to check it out and maybe play with it, have a little fun. If not, I'll reset the tree, just spend a couple of points and put the rest of my points somewhere more advantageous. But for now, that's just kind of the game plan. This is a very strong tree. Now I did hear of doing like an elemental druid, but I haven't done one of those, so I don't know a lot about that. If any of you have, please put down in the comments exactly how you would go about speccing it, or things of that nature. Now with the feats, some of the key points I want to make is I did take toughness, as I stated before. I did take exotic weapon proficiency, the Kolpesh, and that's because of the Cabre Kolpesh. I wanted to get that. It is an evil weapon, so being true neutral, I can use just about anything out there, and I'm going to be checking that out and see how well it does. It does great damage. But as far as the Kolpeshes go, they all do really good damage. I mean, 10% critical roll, and they do just as good as damage, if not better, than a bastard sword. I mean, who could ask for better for a one-handed weapon? And that's really the direction I was going, is I wanted a better critical roll, a ×3 multiplier. You guys see that? And I believe the Bastard Sword only has a ×2. So, 10-15% critical roll, ×3 for the Kolpesh, and ×2 for the Bastard Sword and just about everything else out there. And I wanted to be able to, I don't know, do a little bit more damage, and I'm glad I went that route. Now, as far as my spells go, Druids get a ton of spells. They just do. In the beginning, if you have a 15 Wisdom or better, you'll start with well over 100 spell points, and you'll be able to get Lesser Vigor. You're going to have Summon Nature's Ally 1, and then you can get Magic Fang, or I like messing with Entanglement. That way I could try to do a little bit of crowd control, especially when I'm by myself. That's really key in the beginning. If you're by yourself on the hardcore server, is crowd control. So just something to keep in mind. Now, with all of that said, as far as the rest of my feats go, I did take Scimitar early on. I guess I didn't have to burn that, but I really wanted to, because of the best weapon in the game for level 1, in my opinion, is what's that? Fintan's Bite, which has Body Feeder. It goes off white a lot at a 15% proc rating, and it actually seems more like, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, 35 or 40% proc rating. Every time I use that weapon, even if I'm not proficient with it, I'm still like critting and getting body feeding points, and that's 15 hit points. So at level 1, level 2, that's really nothing to laugh at, because those are life-saving points if you can prevent that damage. It's an amazing weapon. I suggest doing the quest in the bar at Korthos Island and grab yourself that. It's an amazing weapon. So with that being said, standard enhancements basically all around. Nature's Ally is going to be key in the beginning. Now after I gear up, we'll check out, see what my ability points are. I do have quite a bit of good gear. I'm happy with how this character has been performing. I'm still on 2 lives to lose, and I just haven't had a whole lot of time to play recently. So anyways, with that said, boom, this is where we're at as far as ability points go, and I am running what looks like 375 hit points and 690 spell points. You can't really beat that. That's pretty good. And well, in any event, guys, tell me what you think. What is your favorite druid build? If you would spec an elemental druid, what would you call it, and how would you do it? Alright guys, thanks for tuning in, and please like, subscribe, share this video, and we will see you on the flip side, providing you hit that notification bell. Alright, we'll catch you next time.
Thank you for watching Tusk Reaper Game. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.